Never was Jefferson County more a disputed ground than the summer of 1863. In the aftermath of the turning point battle at Gettysburg, General Lee's decimated army returned to Virginia soil at Packhorse Ford in Shepherdstown. By late summer, Federal troops were also encamped in the area. Rumors first began about a buried treasure almost immediately. New York's 5th Cavalry Regiment was expecting their regular pay out of the estimated $1 million period currency being issued daily by the federal government. Their quartermaster, however, just couldn't quite part with the $62,000 in greenbacks and gold that was due to them. Stealthily, he stashed it inside a wooden box, 2 feet long and about 18 inches wide. When the Army Corps didn't believe the quartermaster's elaborate tale of losing the treasure to Mosby's roving attackers, a bang of the judge's gavel sent him to prison. Rumors around Shepherdstown about a buried or missing treasure began in earnest. About 1865, a polite, nice young man appeared in town to, as he told his roomkeeper, see old battlefields he rode over with his unit, the New York 5th Cavalry. But why, the suspicious locals mused, did he carry a shovel everywhere he walked, up and down the roads leading into the quiet, war-weary town? Why did he study each big white oak tree for long minutes when he claimed he was just looking for old battlefields? On the 10th day of this odd behavior, the young man dropped his guard over a few beers and told his roomkeeper that he'd actually come to find the buried treasure, the $62,000 that his boss, the quartermaster, had buried under a large white oak tree on a certain road from Duffields to Shepherdstown. Yes, he confessed he wanted to find it before his old boss got out of prison. Like all small towns, this information was soon as common knowledge as that year's almanac. But a train east into the station at Keedysville, Friday, September 6, 1872, 5 years later, and off it stepped not only the now famous and closely watched previous visitor, but an older, well-dressed man. Skirting the town, the two men went down to the cement mill along Packhorse Ford and chatted with its superintendent. They told him they were, looking over old battlefields. As nightfall offered itself, they left the cement mill, heading by carriage up the road to Shepherdstown, veering out onto the road for Harper's Ferry. Now, every year before the return, the plows of Wesley Myers passed over the ground around the base of a huge white oak tree, at least 3 feet in diameter, on the road from Duffields to Shepherdstown. But his plows never revealed the box of treasure that was not far below the earth's surface. When these two men arrived at the site, they hitched their horses to a nearby fence, and they rolled up their sleeves, and using 2 spades and a pick that were temporarily borrowed from the cement mill, they eagerly began their night's work. The early morning daylight saw the quite exhilarated men boarding the first eastbound train out of Keedysville. A witness said that one was holding a small tin box in his lap. Back toward Shepherdstown, under the Money Tree, as it later became known, there was a 4-foot-wide, shallow trench encircling its base partway, and a huge amount of earth, 3 wagon loads, one said, was thrown up by the two men whose enthusiasm for digging was boundless. The then 61-year-old James Wesley Myers made the connection. This was the truth to the rumor of the buried treasure. In fact, they found around the base of the tree pieces of wood that belonged to a decayed wooden box. And where the curved trench stopped abruptly, there was a squarish hole you guessed it, 2 feet long and 18 inches wide. For years, the money tree enjoyed its new fame, and even today is listed in the table of contents in a history book alongside the names of human beings. But a storm just after the turn of the century tore off its beautiful crown. Then the money tree soldiered on, sprouting green foliage each spring. Then another storm the night of Saturday, June 27th, 1914, left a solitary branch springing from its trunk. And lastly, a brush fire 3 weeks later set fire to what was left of the venerable old money tree. So that today, this mound of earth, this lump, is all we have remaining of a tale of intrigue, wartime, and illicit fortune.